Our plan to strike at the very heart of the West is now in motion.
Oh my God, the numbers are real.
They've always been real. You know about the sleeper cells.
Hundreds of sleeper agents, hidden in every state capital.
One of the best kept secrets of every government is the number stations.
Where is the number station?
A number station is usually a special radio station that broadcasts on the AM band. It's usually set up this way, like a normal radio station, so you can catch the transmission with even the most basic radio receiver. The secret is not in the transmissions themselves. The secret is in what is being transmitted.
The numbers! What are they saying?
The number stations transmit numbers which are basically a one-time code for some event or some action that an agent should be taking when he receives this code. It's basically unbreakable because there is no encryption in them. It's basically a one-time pad, so you have a number and each different number corresponds to some action. So for example, the number 5005 might correspond to for an order for the secret agent to do some specific task. It could, for example, be that when the agents get this code, he should clear the beach so the invasion vehicles can land or whatever. It could be, for example, that the code 2530 would correspond to some other action, and there's no way to break this code because it's not there's no message in the code. You have to know what the code means to know what action to take. So it's practically impossible to break. Every government uses this form of communications with agents deep behind enemy cover. It could be some kind of sabotage unit, or it could be long-time sleeper agents, which is what we're going to talk about today.
Sleeper cells are on U.S. soil.
Today we are going to talk about one of the most mysterious of these number stations, the Bulgarian station E18. The reason this station is so special is that we are finally able to deduct some information that might lead us to what this number station was used for. So we have some indications what this number station might have been used for, and I'm gonna lay it out for you guys here today. The first time the Bulgarian number station E18 went live, as far as we know, is somewhere around 1989, right before communism fell in Bulgaria. It went on to broadcast for a couple of months, broadcasting its cryptical number codes. Nobody really knows what the purpose of this radio station was, but we have some indications that we might go after today. After the number station had broadcasted for a couple of months, it disappeared again, and for 8 years it didn't broadcast a single thing. It didn't broadcast again right up until 1997, where it started broadcasting again for a couple of months again. After those broadcasts, the number station disappeared again and didn't broadcast again all the way up until 2002. So I looked into it and I found it really strange. Number stations usually broadcast all the time, even when there's no wars, no agent activities and whatever. They keep broadcasting just to be active and to confuse the enemy, so the enemy doesn't know how much activity your secret services are doing. So if number stations stop broadcasting, then you might deduct that that country is not doing any activity currently, or if it's broadcasting a lot more than usually, you might deduct that something is going on around this country's agents. So it's very important that these number stations, they keep a regular schedule, so nobody can deduct if more is going on than usual. So why is this number station strange? Because it broadcasted for a couple of months, disappeared for 8 years, broadcasted again for a couple of months, and then disappeared again, and then came back 5 years later. So what my theory is that this number station was not a main communication route for the agents. They probably had other means of communicating, perhaps other number stations or dead drop boxes or whatever. So why did this station suddenly pop up online and broadcast with this very strange schedule? I believe it was probably some kind of dead man's number station, a number station that you would use in case your regular contact, your regular dead Dropbox didn't have any mails and you would know something had gone wrong. So then you would go back and you would find your radio and you would tune into this number station at specific intervals specified, and you would wait for some kind of message to find out what's going on, because as a deep sleeper agent you wouldn't be able to go to the embassy and contact them. You know, you might be with a fake passport from some third country, so it could blow your cover if you tried to contact somebody. So it was very important as a sleeper agent to not contact anybody if you didn't have any new messages. Then the only way you could receive something from your home country would be through these number stations. So this was probably a special number station that was designed as a fallback communication platform in case your normal communication routes disappeared for some reason. Then this was probably some kind of fallback number station. Hence it was only really used 3 times for a couple of months. So now that we know all of this, we might have some indications on what this number station might have been used for specifically. So to deduct what this number station was used for, we have to look at what happened at these specific years when it was activated. So the first time it was activated in 1989, communism was about to fall in Bulgaria. So I believe that this number station went online because the normal contacts that these agents had probably had to disappear. So it went online to alert all of the agents that they should fall back, stop communicating with anyone, and go into deep cover and not do anything. That's what I believe. Because when communism was falling, you couldn't be sure which kind of new government would come in, and you couldn't be sure what they would expose. And some of these missions are so secretive that we will never find out anything about them officially. They will never be declassified, not even in the United States. These number stations are usually doing such an important task and such a secretive task that they would never be declassified. So that's what I believe. In 1989, they sent a message to the sleeper agents: something is going down here in Bulgaria. You need to stand down, hide, and don't expose yourself, and wait for your next command to come through to the number station at some point in the future. The next time the number station went online was in 1997. What happened that year? In 1997, Bulgaria signed the contract to start joining NATO. So NATO would be implemented in the Bulgarian army. They would learn to know many of Bulgaria's secrets and whatever. But the sleeper agents is a secret that they cannot expose even to their new friends at NATO. So I believe when it came back online in 1997, this number station sent another message of similar character like the last one in 1989, advising the agents to go to an even deeper sleep and back down off of everything, not to communicate with everyone, destroy all kinds of things that you might have, everything. Make sure that you're not caught and nothing can be traced back to Bulgaria, because right now we are joining NATO and they might find out about some of these things. So back completely down, don't try to contact anyone. And the last time this radio went online was in 2002. What happened in 2002 in Bulgaria was that Bulgaria was accepted into NATO. So when Bulgaria gets accepted into NATO, they probably come in and put up their own number stations and whatever. So what I think happened there was that this E18, the Bulgarian number station, was probably so secret that only a very few people knew about it, and it was placed somewhere different from all the other number stations. And so it went back online in 2002 to advise the last remaining sleeper agents that the command center was blown, that it would not come back online, and that they are probably free to go, because many of these people, they have been living a huge part of their life outside of Bulgaria with a completely different identity. They've been married, they have kids and whatever. So these are not people that you would ask to come back in Bulgaria. You would probably just relieve them of duty. So in 2002 it went back on for the last time to relieve all of the last sleeper agents of duty. That's what I believe. These number stations are very fascinating, and you can still hear a lot of them till this day. If you tune into the shortwave radio bands, there are different places that keep track of the frequencies that these number stations use and record them and so on. So if you guys want to learn more about this, then try to Google number stations. You will find a lot of interesting things, and with very few cases would you actually be able to deduct anything from these number stations, only because this was a special number station and it had this special schedule. I think we can deduct that it was probably something in the range of what my theory was. So around the world there's probably hundreds of Bulgarian sleeper agents that were let go. Today they are not reporting to anyone, so they aren't to any danger to any government or whatever. But it's just interesting to know that these sleeper agents might be out there everywhere. They might be your neighbor and you would never know it, because their identities are probably very different from somebody that you would suspect of being some kind of agent. These guys are just a relic from a system that collapsed, and they were left behind enemy lines and continued on with their new lives. I hope that someday some of these guys come out and tell us more about it, but I think that probably these things are probably so secret that, even today it wouldn't be possible to talk about it. We probably won't ever learn anything about any of these guys' missions, but you can always hope. What do you guys think? Give me your best theory in the comments below. Guys, if you like this video, subscribe to this channel with the notification bell so you don't miss out on anything, and